What's happening?
Dude.
What is good? Man, I didn't know if we were gonna connect and go live. Like, we've had the worst internet connection. Like, it'll probably mess up during this episode. So just fair warning. So
Usually it's me screwing things up like that.
Yeah. Oh man. What's good, man? Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Coaching. I got my main man from the west side of the 216.
Yes, sir.
What's good, man?
We got a little Dallas weather here for the last couple days, but like typical Cleveland, man, they give you a little and then they sucker punch you because it's tomorrow 20 degrees different. So
yeah, we got teased a little bit. It got down in the 50s, but I think this morning on the run it was I think it was 68, 67, 68. So
fantastic.
Warming up, getting after it.
Yeah.
So,
we got some freeze warnings coming up in our area. So
yeah, no thanks, man. I would take a couple of freezes down here, man. The mosquitoes are ridiculous. Like, yep. Pick you up and carry you away, ridiculous. So I'm like, yeah, we need some cold weather. My neighbor, we were talking about that the other day, man. We could use a couple real good, nice little cold freezes and get rid of them.
Isn't that the Texas national bird?
The mosquito.
Mosquito.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh man. So man, a lot. I was thinking about something this morning. What up, Nick? I was thinking about something this morning on resiliency and problem solving, and instinctively I don't know where this came from me, but I've lived this way pretty much my whole, at least teen years, just mischievous behavior, but it's just really become the way I think. And there's a really, really good book on it. It's called The Third Door. And the whole concept of what he talks about in that book, it's a fascinating book to listen to. I highly recommend it. Everybody, I mean, it's a must. It's a must. It's one of those must reads. And it's the third door concept. And what he's talking about is that he kind of the analogy of at a nightclub or a hot spot, there's three doors. There's the front door that has the long line that you ain't getting in unless you are paying or somebody, but you're just that's where the sheep line up, right at the front door.
Yep.
And then he says you've got the side door, which is the VIP entrance, right? The who's who, the red carpet, like that's the VIP entrance. And then he said there's always another door. There's always a way in. And it may be a window, it may be a cracked open back door, but there is always a way in. And so when you embrace that concept, and so I was thinking about, there was a time at EGS, and we had the masterminds out for an event, and we didn't want to, we needed to get up to the room and not get bogged down.
Yeah.
And I had Reese, and we couldn't go in the front door with everybody, and we knew there was a couple side entrances, but I was like, man, how can we get in and get up to the room where we don't run in with anybody? And so backside of Shops at Legacy at the Marriott is the dock entrance. I was like, that's where we're going. And we did, damn sure. We walked right in. Hey, what's up? Just kept going, acting as if. Went up, service elevator to the floor, walked out, walked right into the room. And so it just that's like one example. Another example, this is like Kinder, right? So Kenny Chesney was playing at the Toyota back when Frisco hadn't even blown up yet. And, it said, hey, you need to exit here, right? You need to exit here. And of course that line was 2 miles long. So guess what Kinder does? He goes right by the line, goes down a mile, takes the exit a mile down, comes in, no traffic, pulls right into the back parking entrance. Just because. So that's the whole concept, right? Don't be one of the sheep. And if you pay to get in, that's fine, but there's always another way. And you've got to look at that, right? That's that I've got the blinders off. What are all of the solutions type of thinking? And that's just how you have to think, right? That's a total Gaydosh move. It absolutely is, right? And so, and we've all, I think that's why we love each other. We gravitate is because we all think that way, right? We think solution oriented. We're always thinking, what are all the ways to get in or accomplish whatever it is we're wanting to accomplish, right? And so it's just a fascinating concept. And when you embrace it, and it's like crazy to see how people don't get that, right? And it's just, I don't know, interesting.
So I'll tell you, it was bringing back memories of Brian Moses' all the stories that he has. Talk about three doors, man. That dude's
He's the magician at it. Yeah. He's the magician at that. He is the godfather of that third door concept.
Yep. Those some amazing memories of those EGSs.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it's just one of those principles, you kind of live by, and, it's just that there's always a way. There's always a way, man. Before we went live, we were chatting a little bit about, kind of what's going on in the biz and what you guys are doing. And for those of you guys listening in, might not be aware, Joel and Al and Stasek group there in the land are kind of at the forefront of this instant offer campaign and process that Joel is really fine tuning. And, we were chatting of how well it's taken off. And I want, so a couple things that we're going to unpack a lot here, Joel. And we were talking about Q4.
Yeah.
And I was talking with Jay the other day about, the whole strategy of what you guys are doing, and, talking through with Al, and Al's thinking, your thinking is that we're building for a strong Q1, really Q2.
Yeah.
And so listen in, guys, they pulled the trigger in October, the beginning of Q4, but they're thinking about March, April, end of Q1, beginning of Q2. That is strategic.
Yeah.
They're not focused on today, right? Their behavior is today, but the plan is for 2 quarters down the road. And from a strategic standpoint, the principle is that when you go into these quarters, if money's right, okay, let me throw that caveat out there. If money is an issue, then our thinking is a little bit different.
Yeah.
But when money's not an issue and we can really be strategic, we have to think of the quarters ahead, right? So we're building a machine this quarter that's really going to bear fruit in the end of Q1 and Q2. Right. So be mindful of that as we're talking about that. And that's the strategic lesson that I want you guys to take away, right? Good strategy, bad strategy. Good strategy, we're solving the right problem. The problem that the Stasek group has had is they have not been strong on listings. So we're going to solve that problem, but we know we're not going to fix it this quarter. What we're doing is really going to bear the fruit in the future. And so I love this move. And I share as much as you can, or you're willing to share kind of what you guys are doing and on that process, so everybody can kind of get their head around that.
Yeah. So we did. I've used this analogy a couple times throughout this whole entire week, but we're the dudes that just did the cannonball in the middle of the pool. We weren't, of course, strategic move, but we didn't dip our toe in. We're like, we're doing this because we know it works. Our most successful year we ever had, besides 2020, was 2016. We took, and I'm not suggesting this is what happened to us. We took all of our marketing budget and we put it all towards seller side, period. Because we were a lopsided company, I think we were like 60-40, 60% buyers, 40% sellers. And we're like, we want to be heavy on the listing side. If not just a 50-50 company, we'll take that.
Hold on real quick. Just because I think a lot of folks are like that, but I want you guys to get a statistic. Wally shared this statistic with me yesterday. 2016 was the peak of home sales. Fewer homes have sold in 17, and then fewer in 18, fewer in 19, and fewer in 20. Okay. Number of agents has climbed every year since 16, right? So if you're out there chasing buyers as an agent in this market, good luck, right? Good luck. So I just wanted to share that statistic with everybody on why you want to embrace a seller mindset mentality.
Yeah. And so what we did in 16 is we shifted everything, and guess what organically happened? We thought, oh, is the threat that we're going to lose a lot of our buyers? No, it's like Field of Dreams. If you list it, they will come. Every
100%.
single time. So what happened was we not only became a 50-50 company, but our buyers grew by 20%. So sellers grew by, 40%? And buyers grew by 20. So we ended up being by one transaction, we were buyer heavy. So it was great. And then, of course, we shifted back. Listings were good. We had a ton of listings. We always had a big gap between 40 and 60 listings on hand at all times. And I get the markets change, but this is going to be something that's going to fuel the listings. We already see it. So the cannonball is we went into TV commercials, and but more importantly, it's the instant offers. We're hammering home the message of, not only, obtain these cash offers in a shorter period of time, if that's what the goal is, but you don't have to go through the stress of listing your home and going and preparing it and going through showings. Because you have two different people in this market.
Hey, Joel, I know everybody just they're probably saying, what TV? What TV's dead? Explain why you guys chose, or the rationale behind choosing TV.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I'm like, ow, I haven't watched the damn news in 8 years, man. I just don't do that. He goes, bro, it's evolved, and I'm like, you're going to have to talk me into this one. Of course, he was going to make the decision.
I can see him saying it just like that too.
Yeah. I mean, it's true, word for word. But he goes, and I go, I'm not bought into this. And he's like, he was going to do it no matter what. That's the funny thing. But he's going to talk me into it. And here, it's TV commercials. Yes, it's there. But they have evolved onto social media and virtual news. People watch it. I didn't realize this right here. They have the app. So what TV does is, yes, you're on air, but then they give you over the next 6 months, 1.2 million impressions on their social media page, and they're doing 60-second live commercial spots with us on that page. It's also airing on their cell phones on the app that majority of people do. And it was like 2.something million impressions. I mean, the numbers were crazy.
Off the charts.
They were. And so, and here's the thing is, yeah, you got to have your ducks in a row. We have to, with the EXP, the express offers, we had to get certified with that. That is a great program. As a backup, we have investors here locally. So that will conform. So basically what we took the honesty route. At least that's what I'm doing. So it's my job to beta test these. So I am taking these leads. I'm taking the phone calls. I'm fueling the follow-up. I'm developing the proper process to, for when we do establish a handful or a few agents in our office to take these leads, what is the proper protocol and how the system works?
So when somebody submits, because I mean, you can go to the landing page, they submit their address. What's the lead capture process? And people were asking, well, do you give them a digital range, or is it just setting an appointment? Like what is the lead capture to appointment conversation process? Yeah, no, it's actually a really good question. So no, they're not getting a home evaluation. That's a different selling program that we have. This is no home evaluation. This is are you looking for a cash offer? Hit them right in the throat. They're filling out their information. And so here's the cool thing. Number one, it kind of works. I think it's Home Light works this way. So it immediately rings my phone or whoever's phone number's on there. It's an automated service, and it's pretty cool. She's got a real nice voice, and she says, hey, I got John Kitchens on the line, or John Kitchens just filled out the survey. Press 1 to make money right now. I hit 1, it rings your phone. And then chances are, you have a shot of you answering or not answering.
But the beauty of when they went through the process of filling out the 4-step form is it also went into my schedule. It's attached directly to my calendar. They get a slot in my schedule, and then the drip campaign starts if they don't answer the phone. So if they don't, they get a text. Hey, just trying to call you. It's Joel. By the way, we also have a meeting set in the calendar for tomorrow at 12:40. If I can't get a hold of you, I'll talk to you then. They get email follow-ups and everything. What I found that is working really good is what we preach. I send a video out. So here, you got to put yourself in the minds of the consumer. How are they viewing this ad, right? A, bait and switch. B, these are the we buy ugly houses guys. And, it's probably a national situation or it's a big corporation. I send the video out. Hey, it's Joel, over at the instant offers platform that you just filled out. Just wanted you to put a face to the name. I'm local, office right here in Westlake. And just going to, wanted you once again to put a face to the name. I'm going to call you during our allotted time, and I'm going to discuss a little bit more about what the program looks like so you know what you want to do moving forward.
I love that. And so I know kind of the concept here on that first initial call, but unpack that initial call since you've had a few over the last week.
Amazing. That honestly sum it up. So here, it actually, at first, I was pissed. It brought back lead generation memories, and I started, my eyeball started twitching, and I was like, I'm like, no, this is not, I don't like this at all. But it's about dialing in that process. So I sat down, did the consistency, called, did the follow-ups. I practiced what we preached, and damn, did it work. And so the first call, I hit him with honesty right off the bat. I let him know, hey, my first initial call is kind of like a discovery call before we jump into a Zoom meeting and I really meet you face to face. I just want to unpack what your goals are. I want to talk to you a little bit about your situation and what's causing you to look for a cash offer on your home.
You say cash offer, or is it an instant offer or an offer now, or is it you guys are using the word cash?
Yeah, I use cash offer.
Okay.
So what's causing you to look for a cash offer on your home? They pour it out to me. And so I explain to them, I just flat out say, okay, so here's the deal. This program, just so we're transparent with you, there's a few different types of cash offers that you could get in this current market. Okay. Number one cash offer being an investor that's a buy and flip. Okay. They're not going to give you market value. They're giving you the bottom of the barrel price, but it is cash. It's true. It's a quick close, but it's the lowest offer that you're going to get. We also have an investor that's a buy and hold investor. Okay. These are people that are obviously going to rent it out. They might fix it up a little bit, but they will pay you a little bit more. It's going to be somewhere between market value and where that bottom dollar investor is going to pay, but it's still not market value. And then you got the market value. In order to obtain top dollar, it will take, we're going to have to put it on the market, and you have a potential of getting a cash offer on that. So talk to me. What's important to you? What's your goal? Is it to sell it in the quickest amount of time or for the most amount of money? And what
are they saying? Is it a mixed bag, or is everybody leaning most amount of money?
Oh, it's 99% is most amount of money. And then that fuels my Zoom meeting. That's great. Cool. Are you prepared to talk about what that looks like right now? And then I just hammer it home with them. And I love the Zoom because I pull up the placemat right there.
Yep, 100%.
Live market data. Boom, my MLS is up. I talk to them about the criteria. Here's what the area is bringing. And then we lock it down. We've had one person ask for the cash offer. So it was a renter. It was a rental. They have a month-by-month renter in there. And she told me, she's like, I'm not interested in putting it on the market. I'm not interested in top dollar. We basically just want a cash offer to get it off of our hands. We have nothing on it, and we want to proceed. I'm like,
I love it.
Done.
I love it. Man, I think it's the way I really honestly think kind of what you guys are doing is it's the right move, right? It's the right way to go. And it's not a bait and switch. It's a true, let me educate you on what you're going to be getting and what that could look like. And then based upon your goals. And it's the whole philosophy, right? What is it that you're looking to accomplish? What are your pain points? And then let me help you solve it. It's the same principle, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing that we talk about on agent attraction, right? When we're trying to find talent or bring people on board. What's your problem? And then what are your goals? And then let me, if I had a way for us to be able to do that, would you be interested in working together?
Yep. Yeah. And I'll tell you what really works is I just tell them, I said, and if you're still interested or if there's another decision maker and, during the Zoom, we want to talk more about the cash offer and what that looks like, I'll be able to discuss all the different programs again with you. And I'm going to let you two decide what's the best fit.
Gotcha. Are you trying to get them to sign right there on the spot, or do you set two-step in another appointment to make that happen?
I don't like the two-step. That's what the process we're trying to figure out. So I am doing that discovery call, and I've been getting very, very good feedback on it. So it depends. Like, are you prepared to jump on a Zoom right now that we could discuss a little further what that looks like? Normally it's no, let's set it out, but I have not had any cancellations yet, and tomorrow's 2 weeks in. So
okay.
People are holding their Zoom meetings.
So you're listing right there doing hey, let me send you the docs and e-signature, all that stuff right there.
Yeah.
And then the process of coming out or sending somebody out.
Yep. Then we go through the whole entire, the smart home buying selling strategy. We send
but you're trying to get their written commitment before you move forward.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
I love
totally.
it. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah,
love it.
Here's what we're finding out, man. The key word is efficiency. Like it's, we were just talking to Harley the other day. Harley does all his listings appointments over Zoom. Give me pushback, whatever. This is the 10th or 12th person that I've heard about this. I'm telling you what, people, the consumer, appreciate it.
They love it. I mean, I've got, I don't know if you know Pam Martin.
Yeah,
she's in Virginia, and I pulled up numbers. I told Kinder, because if I told you, you wouldn't believe it, right? But
I think I lost you, John. Man, I don't know if I'm still live on this thing or not. All right, if you guys can still hear me, shoot a little message in the chat box, and I'll keep rocking and rolling a little bit more until John is able to get back on. Let me know if you guys could hear me. All right, cool. Listening. Love it. Thank you. All right, so back to kind of what is so the somebody said it here in David Betnick said it. Present actions creates future results. It's exactly right. What are we doing to make our phone ring? I think where most agents fail, and I talk to a lot of our agents in our office, what they're telling me is, I'm going to send out letters, or I'm going to create, postcards, or I'm going to do this or do that. What are you doing to make your phone ring? By saying things like, hey, if you're looking to buy or sell, give me a call. They ain't going to give you a call. But when you say things like, hey, the cash offer or your free home evaluation, that's what's going to fuel them to a landing page or to potentially call. What the key is, what we found out is the most the most return on the people that are logging into our funnel and filling out the form is when we use a texting feature. So what people don't want to give you is their cell phone number, but they want to text, so they will give you their cell phone number. So it's kind of interesting on how that works. But I know, we kind of went all in with the Cash Now offers. It's pretty hefty payment per month. But once again, like John said, we're looking into 2021. And he said it's, end of quarter one, quarter two, but we're actually looking all the way through quarter four. We think that we know that this is going to be the next biggest thing based on what is going on, the pandemic. You've heard what John and I have talked about before, which is the moratorium. By the time it's done, by the time that 12 months is lifted, it's going to be around quarter number 1 for everybody that's missing payments. They don't want to go into foreclosure. They are going to look for cash offers, but what they don't realize is that the second opportunity is we also have a program to get you top dollar. So if you guys have any questions, I know you know how to reach out to me. Let me know. But also, another thing that John and I wanted to talk about a little is he said 3 weeks ago when I was on this, I go, "What's up, John?" He goes, "Q4, that's what's up." And it got me thinking, man, we're what do most real estate agents do during this time? So right now I call this the October lull. That's what we're in. We're in this little lull that's gonna dip. It takes a special agent to double down on their efforts. I was just talking to Renee, who's on here the other day, and she's been rocking and rolling through this whole entire pandemic, but it takes that special agent, that badass agent, to identify that sometimes we have to double down on our efforts in order to get the same results as we were in a very good market. So that's my challenge to you guys, is during this lull, during the holidays, when here's what the agent wants to do. They want to put their arms up, they want to relax a little bit, put their feet on their desk, and they really don't want to work because they're using the excuse of the holidays, of family time, of a holiday party with the business, of cocktail hours, because that's what's going to happen. Pandemic or no pandemic, that's what's going to happen. But really, truly think to yourself, how many days do I need to myself to enjoy my life, to enjoy my family, all that kind of stuff? And that's going to be an eye-opener, because it's probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 days, full days, 7 days, maybe 10. Do you know how much time you have left during this quarter? You got a lot of time left, okay? So in order to jam some deals into quarter 4, you got about 6 weeks left, all right, roughly. However, you have 2.5 full months. You have 10 months to set up your quarter 1 for success. And Kitchen says it all the time. Guys, now's the time to jam that gas on. Double down on your efforts. Get uncomfortable. There you are. You're back with in a different room, man. Love it.
Internet issue is a struggle, brother.
I got it at my house.
I know you were jamming, so keep rocking.
Yeah, so no, I was just kind of dove in. I wrapped up a little bit about the cash now offer. I started to go into what does it look like for the rest of quarter number 4 for the average agent versus a true what I feel is an expert, right? That's the difference. And every average agent is going to let that foot off the gas during this quarter. Because of what they're going through and the activities and their enjoyments, their entertainment. And it's our job to swoop in and steal their business, but that does come at a price. Sometimes we got to double down on our efforts in order to make that happen. But, and you've heard me say it before, my man Michael Reese says the market doesn't slow down, the average agent does, and that's true. Seasonality curve is in every single person's market. Okay, it's how drastic quarter 1 dips. Like in our area, we got 3 feet of snow in January, February, and 17% of our sales happen in quarter number 1. That's significantly low. Mm-hmm. Some of the lowest that I've seen. But what I do know is there is that variable that you always talk about, the silver bullet, that's I know can fuel and increase that number, is effort. I hear it on our daily huddle, John. I just talked with Al. This whole week, I've been biting my tongue. And I've been hearing, all right, hey, positive focus, good news. John, go. And it's, good news is I was able to take my kid to the playground, and it was good, and we're getting some work done on the house. And, my priorities today, I have to meet with a couple more contractors regarding this little project we have over here. I got volleyball a little bit later, and I'm listening to all this, and it was a broken record.
Yep.
Across the board, and I'm like, and so I lit them up. I go, guys, I love you, but I'm tired of listening to your non-money generating activities.
Exactly.
If you're not, I can tell you this, if you're not happy with the results, you need to change your behaviors. And I can promise you, you will not be happy with your results by the end of quarter 4 and the entire quarter number 1. So if you're okay saying I did nothing, got nothing, then we're good. But what I can tell you is that if you're competitive like I am, that's not going to fly.
Man, 100%. And it really is. It's that, embracing that mindset that this is where you separate, right? You run through the finish line. And no matter what you do, you don't want to be that runner that's showboating and taking your foot off the gas to get bypassed by that guy that never gave up. You want to be the one that runs through the finish line. And, just because it sets things up, this quarter is really going to dictate how your Q1 looks. And, you think about this, and Nick Manton shared this the other night. You got to look at your marketing efforts 3 ways, right? You got the three pillars. And, one is the stuff you buy, you pay for, right? Like you guys are paying TV, you guys are paying, you're paying for lead gen, right? You're running, Facebook ads, you're paying for that stuff.
Yep.
The other is long-term, which is content, right? Creating content marketing, what our main man, Nick Krim, does at a very high level. And I know a lot of folks tuning in are plugged in with Nick Krim, and you should be. If you're not, you should be. And then the third pillar is referrals. But what I know and what I've seen with clients over the years, especially clients in an extreme weather markets, right? Like you guys, the referrals don't come during the winter, right? The abundance of referrals usually come during the nicer months.
Sure.
So if your business is built on referrals, there is a damn good chance that your business is going to slow. It's going to slow significantly. And so, what are you doing this quarter? Even if you've got to pay for it a little bit, what are you doing for lead gen? What are you doing? Consistency creating and adding value, content creation. The referrals are still going to be there, but traditionally Q4, Q1, the referrals are not as strong as we see during the warmer, nicer months. So if you're in one of those markets, beware, right? Now, if you're in, a market that's pretty consistent weather-wise, but even us down here, man, in Texas, I think it's 17, 18% of the deals happen in the first quarter.
Yeah.
So that seasonal curve is there. So it's real. So just be aware of it. But, we always say, right, deals are going to happen. They might as well happen with us.
It's real, but honestly, like, it's an excuse too.
Mm-hmm.
It truly is. Like I call it. I always tell all of our agents, period. Like when I'm in a clarity session, I talk about the real estate roller coaster, and I tell them about my past. So Joel sells 4 or 5 houses, and I had truly not a pat on the back, but I'm going to tell everybody this anyways. I had the highest average sales price in RE/MAX in our region because I only did high-end new construction homes. So in Cleveland, I had a $588,000 average sales price.
Nice.
Our MLS average is $147,000. So what happens? Joel sells 3-4 houses a month, and I get a fat paycheck. And then you ain't seeing me for a while until the oh shit moment happens, and I'm like, it's the alert buttons going off. Hey, bank account, and I gotta ramp that thing back up. And I always tell them, don't be a Joel. Don't do that.
Don't be Joel.
Don't be Joel, because that's the wrong way to go about real estate. You don't want to wait till that oh shit moment happens. You want to make sure that you're super consistent. And I just posted this on our private mastermind, our group's private mastermind page. It was a little saying, and it said, long-term consistency is better than short-term something. Of course, I forget. It was. Hang on, I should know this, but I feel like a complete idiot.
It is a long game. It really is, man. You know, one of the things that you said there, like don't let it be an excuse, because here's what happens, right? And let's go back, right? You know, I've talked about it on many of these episodes, right? Call it, you know, I call it the coach code, right? It's the code, it's the combination, and it's as simple as this, right? Your beliefs, which are your thoughts. That's all beliefs are, is just a collection of your thoughts. If you think and you believe the market is slowing down, it causes you to feel a certain way, right? How we think, what we believe is how we feel. And if we feel like, oh shit, the market's slowing down, you know, there's not many deals happening out there, you know, there's no deals for me, then my thoughts and my feelings, and I feel that way, disempowering, then I lead to disempowering action. It means I don't take action. And if I don't take, or I have disempowering action, then what comes next? That's results. So if you're not getting the results, it's because of your actions. And if you're not taking action, it's because you're feeling a certain way. We're feeling creatures. And if we're feeling a certain way, it's because we're thinking a certain way, or we're believing a certain way. And what really has an impact on our thoughts and our beliefs? It's our circumstance. It's our environment, right? That's why we talk about environment is stronger than will. And, you know, it's all the cliche, you know, you are who you surround yourself. You are who, you know, you keep company with. You know, my favorite quote towards that is the Nipsey quote of, you know, if the people in your circle don't inspire you, you don't have a circle, you have a cage. And so you have to put that in check above all else. And you know, who are you keeping company with, right? Who are you spending time with? Who are you, you know, modeling after? Who's mentoring you? What masterminds are you in, right? The 3 M's, right? We talk about the 3 M's. It's you know, the mentor who's mentoring you. And it doesn't have to be somebody alive. It doesn't have to even be somebody you know. You know, what are you modeling? What success, what traits, what are you modeling? And then who are you masterminding with, right? Who are you connecting with? You guys are tuning in, checking this out. I'm going to say you guys are, you know, in pretty good company. You're connecting with the right people. So those, you know, the 3 M's, and understand if you're not taking action, it's because you're feeling a certain way. If you're feeling a certain way, it's because of how you're thinking. Some of your beliefs. And just because you think something or you believe something to be true doesn't mean that it's true. The check, if you want to really check your thinking, is the question you ask yourself is, if I were to go into a court of law and be judged by my peers, would they say this is a fact? Right? And if the answer is no, then you got some bullshit thinking you need to figure out. Yep. And so, you know, those are the limiting beliefs. Those are the things. But remember, Joel, right? All of this thinking is being driven by the environment. And so that's why, like you were talking about the news and how you feed your mind. Like I had a great expert mentors with Trisha Turner yesterday. She's a beast, right? She is a honey badger. And she talked about that, right? She talked about it all morning on, you know, really how she has to start her morning, what she's feeding her mind to really empower her throughout the day. And it really is important.
Yeah. All right. So my mental speed bump, I got it.
Got it?
So it was long-term consistency is better than short-term intensity. So, but think deeper about that. It's not so the competitor in us, we go all in. Yeah, all right, you know what? I haven't done this. I haven't done my Facebook posts. I haven't done my dials. I'm going to go all in, and I'm going to do it at such a level where I'm going to get burnt out and pissed off in about 2.5 days.
Yep.
And I'm going to stop doing it. As opposed to, if you guys just remember, real estate is the biggest numbers game, which when I figured this out, it was like that whole Bitmoji where the guy's head's blowing off. I'm like, holy shit, like this is a true numbers game. If I just break it down into micro commitments and do baby steps every single day, it ain't going to burn me out. And it's the long term, just like we're doing with these cash offers. It's through quarters. It's through the end of 2021 is what we're really looking at. And Al always told me, and I never got it. I finally got it. He always said, head down, eyes up, man. You know, you're working at what you need to be doing, the consistent stuff in your schedule, but you know your eyes are on that goal. Your eyes are on that prize. And just commit to these little tiny micro commitments. That's going to fuel that. So it's a numbers game because, you know, what we've talked about before, send 20 text messages a day to prospects. That's,
you know, too, it goes back to what I was talking about with that third door mentality too, right? Like, and you coach on this all the time, man, I just can't get a hold of anybody. How many text messages did you send? How many direct messages on social media did you send? How many emails did you send? Right? Like, what are all the ways? Yeah,
and that's exactly right. And so you and by the way, when you've exhausted those, do it again.
Do it again. Do it again. And repeat. It's the consistency, right? So like, you know, Holly's guy that she gets all of her she gets her tattoo stuff done, said, you know, because she was like wanting to do some words and stuff like that, and he's like, have you seen what words on a body look like, you know, 20 years from now, 30 years from now? And he's like, I understand if you want to do a couple little words, whatever they mean, but find an image that has that meaning, right? And so like I've got this little turtle on my computer right here.
Yeah.
If you can see, I took a picture of it. See that guy?
Yeah.
That's a badass turtle, right? That's my honey badger turtle. But it's there as a reminder every day I look at this computer that it is the consistency. It's what you do every single day, right? That adds up over time. And I ain't thinking about that. I'm thinking about what do I got to do today to keep moving forward and maintain that consistency.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, that's all it is. It's just, I was the guy who went all in every single time, but if I would have played that consistent game better, you know, and I did towards the end of when I was selling, and it worked. I mean, like, we're going to go down a FSBO rabbit hole here for a second, but it truly worked. You know, I took the Jay Kinder's FSBO training.
Yep.
Dude, I listed 36 FSBOs. I listed and sold 36 FSBOs in 1 year. And that wasn't me like burning myself out. That was half-ass effort by picking a source, mastering it, knowing what worked for me. And honestly, what it was is I would set 10 appointments for myself a month, 10. Mm-hmm. And I would get into about 8 of those doors, and I would list 3 to 4 of them a month. It was a technique, but I did the consistent stuff.
Are you guys seeing? Are you doing anything right now with FSBOs in the market, or what are you guys seeing?
Yeah. So, man, I put it this way. Somebody asked me, if you were to get back into sales, what would you be doing? I'd be calling FSBOs all freaking day long. That's just what it was. That's what I loved, and that's why I fueled my business. No, honestly, our agents, we have the data. I pull the old change the password once a month, and they don't even know it.
Yeah.
And I don't get that phone call for 3 months saying, hey, I'm trying to log into Vortex and it's not letting me. Right. I know. I changed that password to see how much you guys are using it.
So if you guys are going, you know, like in this market, like statistically, what are you guys seeing from a FSBO perspective? How many are actually selling without the help of an agent? Like what are you seeing? And then if so, if it is a lot higher than what it has been statistically, what would be a value add approach with for sale by owners now?
Well, so, and that's a really good question. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know the data on how many are listing and how many are selling. I should know that. And I'm going to definitely look up that information. But, you know, I still feel that it's the stress, you know, it's when the word system, Darren Hardy said, he breaks it down. What does it stand for? It saves you stress, time, energy, and money.
Yep.
And if you just keep pushing on that, because they are going through stress. I mean, the whole thing with the for sale by owner is, I even when I was still selling, the market was breaking out of the bad market. And I would tell them, hey, listen, there's no doubt you're going to sell your house. It's a matter of two things: when and for how much. My job is to solve both those problems for you. My job is to sell in the fastest amount of time for the most amount of money and attract as many high offers as I can and position it properly. And we use social proof. In your area, a for sale by owner, we actually saved them about $13,000 net in their pocket than they would by holding it or by selling it for sale by owner. I think we're going to lose John again here. All right, so let's keep going. I'm sure you guys can still hear me. It says I'm still live. So somebody here says, what are your thoughts on using an ISA? We have some success, but they quit on us too soon because they can't wait for the income to kick in. Honestly, it's a good yes. It depends on a couple different variables as far as the ISA concerned. I love ISAs. Virtual ISAs are great too. I think that the virtual ISAs they're dialing in the process. I like local virtual ISA companies. Okay, this is personal preference. Don't take this the wrong way, but the overseas that have the 10-second delay on when someone says hello, I can't stand. They're gone. They're weeding you out, and people are going to hang up, and they already know that you're calling from somewhere else. The local ones I like. You might pay a little bit more, but the pricing is not bad. And where these ISA companies have evolved is they are utilizing what they are calling touches now. They're not saying we're going to make X amount of dials for you. They're saying we're going to do X amount of touches. So they're going to hit your leads. You have to provide leads. You have to provide sourcing for them to call. A lot of agents make the mistake that they have 0 leads in their bucket, but yet they want to hire an ISA service. Well, you got to get them something to call first. So you have the leads. You have to get the FSBO, the expired data, neighborhood dialing data, pre-foreclosure data, whatever is predominant in your area. Get them that data, and then they touch them in the form of they have their own CRMs, and they touch them with the calls, the texts, the no-ring voicemails, that kind of stuff. So you've gone through a true ISA company when that company is they have a setup process. The setup process is, hey, let's pre-record a few of these no-ring voicemails to go out. Hey, it's Joel over at the home search site, and I saw you were on my website. Haven't been able to get a hold of you. Just want to give you a call. Listen, I'm also going to shoot you a text right after this voicemail if that's an easier way to respond. But I'm just kind of curious at what exactly you're looking for. So here's my cell phone number. Shoot me a message if when you're ready or whatever. And then boom, an automatic text. So that's a no-ring voicemail, and then an automatic text goes out. That is a true ISA company that's going to actually set you up. So yes, I do believe in that kind of stuff. An ISA in-house, we were the masters of that. We had 3. We had 3, but we were also fueling a huge group. What I would tell you is you have to run that like a business. Some people, we actually changed it over to our own P&L to show our agents, and we had transparency with our agents. We actually opened up our books and said, here's what we're spending. Here's the whole ISA department, including our ISAs, the cost of them, our lead generation, all of our different platforms that go into fueling this. This is how much it is a month, and this is how many deals we need to sell a month just to break even. And what I can tell you is that is super eye-opening to all of the agents. And what we found, unfortunately, is we were losing money every year on an in-house ISA department. And I'm not saying we weren't doing anything wrong, because we probably were. I think that it could be a huge profit potential if the team lead or the main agent. If you're a single agent, yes, all day long. If you have a small team and the team lead is still selling, yes, all day long. Right now we have 47 real estate agents, and an agent isn't going to have that drive or that follow-up mentality, or it's not their money on the line. So they don't have, they're not going to be as aggressive, sadly enough. They have a lot of stuff going on, and because you're going to be taking a bigger cut of an ISA deal, so therefore when you take a bigger cut, they're less apt to close that deal, because why? They got to give you more money, and they don't get it. So I hope that answers your question. And somebody's also saying, do you know of any that work in the Ontario, Canada market? John, you can answer that one. Do you know of any ISA virtual companies that work in the Ontario, Canadian market?
Man, I don't. I think it gets really into what we're trying to accomplish, right? I'm sure you answered that question. The virtual route to me is more of an SDR role, sales development role, where they bubble up opportunities, but then, they need to kick them to you as the closer.
Yeah.
My belief on the in-house ISA, when money's right, you've got that rock star admin when money's right, meaning you've got multiple months of core capital. That means including what you're paying yourself. And you make that in-house hire. And the reason I say, if you're in production, right? If you're in production, you make that in-house hire because they are an extension of you, and they really become like an executive assistant. Now, like you, Joel, Al, you guys are out of production. You can look at the model a little different. But to me, in-house, you do that, right? So what are the main responsibilities of an executive assistant? They control your calendar and they control communication. And it gives you a system to where all leads flow through and they convert, and they're converting deals for you. In-house ISAs that are setting up deals for your people, it's real hard to make it work. It's real hard. And so what we've seen the best is that in-house ISA is an extension of you. They wear multiple hats, right? They're sales development, they're a closer, they are a executive assistant, and they really become an extension of you. So that's there. And as far as the income piece goes, is that it's on target earnings. So their earning potential needs to be broken down over a 12-month period, and they have to understand that majority of their income is going to come in the last 6 months versus the first 6. Now, do you need to get them early victories? Hell yeah, you got to get them early victories. And so you want them to go after the low-hanging fruit, right? For sell by owners, expireds, canceled, withdrawals. That's where you want them to focus. Well, why is that? Because those people are the closest to making the cash register ring. And that's where you really want to put them in. There are multiple companies out there that do a lot of really good SDR work. We're actually testing. Stace is actually testing an ISA company in the Philippines right now through our VA. He has his own company now, but when we had him, his name's Pip. He was our kind of our customer experience communication bridge, liaison, whatever you want to call him. And he also did some process work for us, but he has his own company now, and he's got a couple ISAs. So Stace and Reedy are testing him out. I know Justin Nelson has sphererocketva.com, and so there's some VA stuff there. There's a handful of these companies that specialize in some of the tools, but they're out there. If you guys are whatever group you're watching this, if you guys are in the Honey Badger group, pose that question in the group, because I know a lot of the folks in the group are using virtual ISA companies. I know Kyle, Daniel Beer has some in-house. So go that route. Is where I would look at it. And things are a little different in Ontario. Up in Canada, you guys, obviously have, it's not like down here in the States with expireds, and there's a way to go about it, but not as easily as it is here in the States.
Yep, that's true. Matt Milia too.
Yeah, Maddie.
He's got a good virtual company. But yeah, man, it's something that we've talked about getting back into. What is the VA? But we'll see here.
Yeah,
soon.
It can bubble up opportunities, and I know there's a couple of them that are really proficient, especially with the newer tools like YLOPO and to Follow Up Boss. That seems to be the direction from a tool standpoint that are kind of leading the way on the tool forefront within the real estate industry. Outside of what you guys can do on your own with campaigns and funnels and paid lead gen sources. So that's where I would look. But first and foremost, you gotta get clear on the problem you're trying to solve.
Yep, that's exactly. You just doubled down exactly what I said about if you are in production, how it works. And
cool, I love it. Well, we'll wrap up. You see, got our little spooky Halloween.
You know, I always got mine.
Cool. Awesome, brother. Well, I appreciate you standing by with our awesome internet connection here. So,
hey, you were there for me a couple times. So
awesome. Well, appreciate you guys. If you guys need anything, have any questions, feel free to reach out, hit up Joel, myself, any pretty easy to get a hold of. So appreciate you guys. Joel, awesome as always.
My man, appreciate you.
See you.